important. To be confident and be, I'll say, with a clear mind when you go on the court. So that's very important for me.
Has there been any adjustment for you in terms of just taking away basic bread and butter, pick and rolls, handouts, all that stuff is kind of gone? Is that an adjustment for you at all?
Well, I've been kind of playing like this my whole life. My whole career. I'll always try to play the right way, which and kind of this brand of basketball is not new to me. So the adjustment was, of course, a little bit, but I feel very comfortable in this offense. I feel very comfortable with the teammates and the people I'm around. So it's pretty easy, I would say.
So you almost had to adjust to pick and roll basketball in the NBA.
I wouldn't say that, but it's something that reminds me a little bit of the type of basketball that I've been playing growing up, especially in Europe, and it's something I can relate to. So I would say it was the easiest then to adjust to a different type, probably like a different type of basketball.
Simone, how would you describe your first week as a Heat player? There's everything going on, obviously new system, new fast pace and everything. How would you describe it?
It's been fun, definitely. I think we could have that game in Orlando too. It kind of slipped out of our hands, but I think overall it's been a great positive week. We still got a long way to go, but as I said, I feel good. I feel comfortable, and I think I feel good on the court. So that's the most important thing.
Obviously, it's the job of the second unit to come in and provide a boost, but just the way this week has kind of complement each other so quick. Just how much pride do you guys take in coming off the bench and providing this?
No, we're loving it. Listen, I think it's a great group of guys. Everybody's coming off the bench. Also the starters, but of course, I've been playing a lot with the second unit, and I think everybody just kind of plays the right way, want to play for each other, and helps each other on defense, and on offense we should try to play the right way in a simple way. And it's very easy to play with these kind of guys.
Last night you thought you were just in a better headspace coming into this year. Can you just kind of talk through that process as you went through this season and kind of putting last year maybe behind you?
Yeah, it's a new year, new start to a season, so everything's kind of really fresh. I think it was a great reset for everybody, not just myself, but as a team, just kind of get away, collect our thoughts and what we did well and what we didn't do well from the last season, and just take it into this season, which is a fresh start.
Coming off the bench, what is that from a player's perspective, kind of watching how the game gets started and unfolds, and then you guys, obviously, you come in expected to get a spark, but how do you guys kind of watch the game as you get prepared for it?
Yeah, just kind of see the flow of the game, how it's going. I like to say that we have a metaphorical fire of our team, and we're either going to be the spark to get the fire going, or we're going to throw gas on that fire. So we just kind of watch the game and read how it goes and decide which one we're going to be today.
You mentioned a few times you feel pretty good.
Yeah.
How much of that has been a role that we're seeing so far? And last season, I know you don't like to make excuses, but how much been a role maybe what happened last season?
Yeah, well, I think, this whole summer I was healthy. Last summer I had a few setbacks, with the ankle, with the groin, things, right before the season started that were very frustrating. But this year, I've been healthy through and through. Knock on wood, we're going to keep that going. But it's easy to play when you're healthy. That's easy.
You mentioned about being a leader for the second unit. Is that a challenge you sort of set for yourself during the off season?
Yeah, I think that's something that I definitely wanted to do. Coming into my third year, take on a bigger leadership role, especially in that second unit with all those guys who are around the same age as myself. I might be on the older side a little bit, but just taking that next step in my development, I think is going to be huge. All right, cool. Thank you.
When you see the number of threes they put up yesterday, over 50, is that a sign of the offense functioning well because they're not getting the paint as much, or is that a high volume for what you want to see out of this defense?
But yeah, they had some open ones, that they missed. Especially some of those after offensive rebounds, some of the pick and flares. It is a different league. I would not like to have a habit of giving up 50, every single night. Just the law of averages. It's really more about, being up and into them and being there on the catch, forcing some other decisions with multiple efforts. We'll continue to try to work at it in this league. We'll face it, again on steroids tomorrow. Charlotte with their pace, they move you around, the passing, and then you still have to be able to protect the paint, take away easy baskets, and get to the three-point line. But welcome to the modern day, NBA.
And on the other side of the floor, I think we were seeing what the early offense, the transition, and the early shot clock offense. But when you guys are in like the last 10 seconds, what is the key that you're drilling with these guys to keep the offense flowing as you want it to when the clock is getting shorter?
Yeah, sometimes you're not going to have like an absolute flow in the last 8 seconds. That's not necessarily realistic, but your spacing better be dialed in, and your decisions on the catch, have to be precise. You can't miss moments, particularly at the end of a possession. We're making some progress with that. I know, it got a little bit clunky there in the final 6 minutes, but I'm seeing progress, and I think that'll get better.
Defensive metrics obviously are good. How would you evaluate so far just how the defense?
A little bit of everything. The effort has been good, I think, through 3 games. The rebounding in the first and last night, those games needs to be better. It was a little bit different last night. There was a lot of long rebounds that we weren't tracking down. They're popping up over our head. But look, the bottom line is we got to finish our defense no matter what the circumstance is. We have to do that better.
Pace hasn't been a big thing in recent years. Obviously, this year is looking different. How do you expect Tyler, once he's back, to sort of insert himself into all this new offense?
Yeah, when we get there, he'll be just fine. Whatever we do, his skill level, all of his offensive talents that he's been developing for the last few years, that's going to amplify, what we do.
And obviously getting off to a good start this year. Last night, Bam was just in a better headspace. Coming into his third year, maybe what was the conversations like with him from you? Just coming into
With Jaime?
Yeah.
Yes. The conversation was about putting in the work, which I knew he would, but getting a balance of clearing his head. He was able to work out in LA for a few weeks, also spend several weeks here preparing. I know him well enough that he's going to put in the work. It was part just clearing his head and then simplifying his decisions. And a lot of that is spacing, and then him improving through drill work and film work on what reads to make when teams inevitably bring that second defender. And he's made very good strides in that area.
A lot of these guys spoke last night too, just about how much fun they're having. And it's obviously so early in the season, but how refreshing is it for you to see that, especially when you're installing a new offense and there's going to be ups and downs?
Yeah, look, I want our players, to be able to rally around something. Right now, they enjoy coming into work, every day. It's a team that's not afraid of putting in the time, but they enjoy each other. They enjoy competing. I want our fan base to feel excited about this group. I'm the head coach, so I can bring reason, to things and temper it when I need to. But at the same time, I mentioned last night, I don't want this group to be too reasonable. There has to be some irrationality when you want to accomplish some things in this league.